10 days ago we found the first adult beetles of Mecynorrhina Polyphemus. We want to check today whether they are already active, whether we can put them into a breeding box, and how we do that. So if you go back in the playlist, you will see last time we placed some pairs of Mecynorrhina Polyphemus in boxes like this, and we wanted to see whether they are already active or not and what they do here. As you can see in this box, nothing really happened. The beetle jellies are untouched, so that's a good sign that they are not yet active, so just leave them in there. And we go, now I've written here, check 15th of November to the 10th, so probably in 1 week we are closer to a point where we can say now they are active. Here's another box. If we have a look what we see empty beetle jellies or half emptied beetle jellies, and we will see what happened in here. I think this is not from, this is something else. Now let's dig down and have a look what happened in this box. Now here's the female, but I think she's already active now. Let's have a look where the male is. Now here's the male. Already this boy here, I think. He looks already pretty active. So I think we can start with this pair. Also I've seen that the beetle jellies are practically emptied up, that we can prepare a breeding container for them. So I put them back just to wait some minutes till we have prepared the box. What do we do if we want to start with the breeding process? My main setup for Mecynorrhina, Polyphemus or Torquata, or even for Goliathus, is that I place on the bottom of the box a layer of clay, of wet clay. So that is kind of a signal for the female to dive down, that they reached kind of the bedrock of the place where they are, so that they don't go further down, and also that this layer keeps the moisture inside of the box very well. So that's what I'm doing normally, but you also can leave it out if you have a good black gardening soil that is wetted and pressed very hardly on the bottom. And then I take some material. This is just a good and a pretty fine gardening humus. So that's mostly plant material. It's also they also say it's black soil. That's a double fermented flake soil. If you go back in my channel, or if you have a look on the flake soil, you can find the method to produce it. That's also for the bottom of the box. I just put this on the bottom and compress it, so that here we have a layer that is compacted on the bottom. And then what is used normally is a normal kind of a substrate with leaves, with rotten leaves, mixed with flake soil. That can be put in, not too compacted, but can be pretty loose in a way, so that would be good to dive, for the female to go down to the layer on the bottom. That's my material. It's a mixture of flake soil, little pieces of branches also, where they can nibble on, and that's the layer here. Also, if you have, you can add some more of this black soil just to mix it in with the leaves. You can collect the leaves in fall before the new leaves fall down, because then they are really rotten very well, and that's the best thing for the beetles. If the material, the leaf material, is pretty well rotten, because if it's not quite rotten, so that's difficult for the beetles to eat, because there are a lot of materials inside of the leaves that first have to be kind of fermented, so that the larvae can eat it easily. So that's the top layer here, and now we put some beetle jellies here on the top too, like this one, and this one, and then we just put in the two beetles, the pair, and if we have enough of these beetle jellies, we can just leave them here for around 1-2 months without giving them more food. But of course, if you can, they love to eat fruits, rotten fruits, or fruit that you can't eat yourself anymore, so you can give it to these beetles. They really like it. And then we come back in around 2 months and we have a look whether the female already laid some eggs, and after 3 to 4 months, that's the normal age they can get. Mostly after 4 to 6 months, that's the time when they die, and then you can just have a look and see whether your next generation is here. So you see, it's not very complicated to prepare a box for the breeding of this nice beetle. And as soon as you have them in a mating box for around 10 days, and you see that the beetle jellies are eaten up quite well, so you can be sure that they have mated already and can put them into a box for the egg laying process. You've seen the ladies already down here, and the males waiting on the top and eating. That's the normal thing with this rose jabber. That's also nice, because if you have a pair, you always see at least one, the male on top, and the female, she's somewhere down in the substrate, ready for laying eggs. Thanks for watching.